Hey everyone, I'm Dean Rogers, and we have another episode of Deals with Dean where we're going to be talking about the fastest deal that we have ever closed. We closed this bad boy in 1.5 days. Let's get it. All right, welcome back. Can't wait to share this Deals with Dean episode with you guys. The fastest deal that we have ever closed. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button. It'll do a lot to help out this channel, and we would greatly appreciate that. All right, so let's talk about the fastest deal that we have ever closed. So I'm going to break this whole thing down for you. And of course, without fail, there was plenty of drama that was behind the scenes on this deal and obstacles we had to overcome. So it all started on a Wednesday evening around 5 o'clock. I'm sitting at the table with my kids. We're having some dinner. The wife had just left to go to a workout and the phone rings. Now, usually my phone will still ring and my acquisition managers will pick up the phone. Well, in this case, the phone kept ringing and I just had this gut feeling that said, got to pick up this phone for some reason. So I did it. Picked up the phone, ring, ring, and lo and behold, it was a seller motivated, ready to sell. Now, the situation on this one was the lady who had called me had taken over power of attorney of the seller on title's estate. Now, the seller who was on title was actually in the hospital and, sad to say, was on his way out of this world to heaven. The power of attorney lady had called us because she had been instructed from the seller to sell immediately as he wanted her to get the proceeds from the sale. Now, reading in between the lines, I realized that we had to be able to close this as fast as humanly possible because the man on title was in real bad shape. So I got the call this Wednesday evening at 5. I understood the situation, speaking with the seller, and I asked the magic question, how much are you looking to sell for? Now, she threw out a number that was way too high. It was practically retail and the property was not in good condition. It was outdated, had a lot of junk going on. So I went ahead and broke down the numbers for this power of attorney. I let her know what this property would likely sell for if it was remodeled, what the selling costs would be, what the remodel costs would be, and baking in a profit for us, ultimately what we would offer. So we landed on that number and her response was, what do we do next? Told her, well, if you're willing to accept that offer and move forward as quickly as possible, given we have very little time, then here's what that looks like. I'm going to have to call escrow, let them know the situation, and we're going to have to rush. So I went ahead and got the property under contract within an hour or so of speaking with this power of attorney. Next, I called my homegirl, Dana Bustamante from Placer Title in Fresno, and she was having dinner with one of her friends, having sushi. She still picked up the phone. That's where relationships are key. And I broke down the situation for her, and she said, I got you, boy. Just like that. I couldn't believe it. So we opened escrow first thing the next morning, and she was able to get a prelim that exact same day. That's typically unheard of, right? So we had the title department working on it first thing that morning, got the prelim back, saw that it was clear title, no loans, which allows us to close very fast. However, the power of attorney document that we provided to escrow had a shaky signature on it. And the underwriter said, I think we need a doctor's note. Believe it or not, the power of attorney was able to make contact with the doctor that same day on Thursday and get him to sign a letter stating that the seller did have intentions to sell it and was in sound mind. Next from there, we overcame those hurdles, and all that was left was the seller signing the package, which in this case is the power of attorney, the buyer being us signing off on it, and getting our funds to close. Now, typically, when we buy a property to flip or as a rental, we're using other people's money. We're giving them an 8 to 10% annualized return as our private lender. It's a great deal for them to get passive income, and for us, it allows us to scale and leverage our money. In this case, there was not enough time to wait around for a private lender and the documents that needed to be signed. We didn't want to mess around with it at all. So we fortunately had enough cash of our own to be able to purchase this one outright, and we got our package signed. The seller signed Friday morning at 8 a.m., and you bet your behind I was there at Wells Fargo at 9 a.m. when they opened and had sent the wire out. Now, a little pro tip when you're sending a wire out and you want it to get there fast is make sure that they have the final approval of that wire going out. If you sign the document to send the wire out, that's one thing. It actually has to go to someone else's desk for them to review it and sign off and officially send out the wire. So in this case, I let them know, hey, I know there's someone else that has to review this. I'm willing to sit here and wait. They said, well, sure, then let's take care of it right now. They walked it over to the final approver. Bada boom, bada bing. It was sent out, and I notified escrow. Escrow received the funds. Everybody signed. They released to record, and Dana Bustamante and the team at Placer Title got that bad boy recorded by noon on Friday. So received a call on Wednesday night, opened escrow Thursday morning, prelim back Thursday, doctor's note on Thursday, seller signed 8 a.m. in the morning on Friday, wired our money first thing 9 a.m. on Friday, and that was it. We got it closed. So that is the fastest deal that we've ever done. We closed in a day and a half. Now, that's not it, because at that point, we just owned the property. We hadn't sold it. We hadn't made any money yet. Now, I forgot and left one little fun piece of information out because I got too excited about how fast we closed. On Thursday, we actually did walk the property and take pictures. We met with the power of attorney. She let us in. While we were there, the nosy neighbors actually believed that they had some ownership in the property and had called the cops, said we were trespassing on their property. So the cops knew that they were being a pain in the butt and kept calling and causing issues. To make it more fun, that night on Thursday, one of the neighbors actually broke in and barricaded themselves in the property, saying that it was their church and that it was their rightful property. Go figure. So in that case, the cops were called. They met with this person who had broken in Thursday night and actually ended up getting in a fight with the police and hauled out of the property. They had some record, some prior history. So that person was out. We then quickly Friday morning resecured the property and made sure to put some big thick bolts in there to make sure no one else broke back in. All right, so that wraps up all the drama of buying the property. What happened next was the power of attorney wanted about 2 weeks to get belongings out of the property. The stuff that was left behind by the seller was going to be given to this power of attorney. Now, catch this, because this is just another piece of the puzzle that makes this whole story wild and crazy. Had we not closed in that day and a half, there's a good chance we would have lost out on the deal because the seller passed away that weekend, sent off to heaven, and that deal could have fallen through. Now, there's some things that you could kind of debate whether escrow would know about it, whether it would be an issue, and if we still could have got it closed on Monday or Tuesday. You could probably argue that, but still, nonetheless, if escrow knew, they likely couldn't have moved forward on that sale. All right, so 2 weeks pass, we get possession of the property, and now is the time for us to sell it. We send it out to our list of buyers, and very quickly we have multiple offers coming in from interested buyers, and we select someone who's ready to close within 5 business days. We get it in escrow at full asking, and we end up netting $44,000. So this was fastest deal we've ever closed. We had made a solid profit on it. And this is a perfect example when an opportunity presents itself, you gotta take action. This could have been a situation where the call came in and I missed it. No one on the team took the call. Or we didn't give the seller the confidence that we were gonna be able to get this done. At the end of the day, we did all things right and the stars aligned, and we got this property closed. The fastest deal we've ever closed, a very solid profit for us and the team, and we were very proud of what we were able to accomplish. Big shout out and thanks to Dana Bustamante at Placer Title and the whole team there, including Terry Jones in the title department. So couldn't have done that without them and the rest of the folks on our team. Much appreciation. Hope this was some motivation for you, and inspiration to get out there, take that opportunity. Don't let it go by. Take action right away, and you'll be proud of the results at the end of the day. Until next time, peace.